I want to welcome you to In Kitchen Shop Talk. It's a function of the In Kitchen, which is online information free, the inkitchen.com, Insta, all that. And our sponsors are Hanes, Champion, Alternative, Hirsch Solutions, The Show, etc. And anyway, thanks for coming. The idea here is to people that do this all day, every day, to have them up here, not necessarily professional speakers. So we have people that do embroidery, do sublimation, or are great at marketing, like my friend here, Dov Charney. So here you go, man.
How are you?
So the topic was going to be how do you promote ethical manufacturing? And I believe he's going to start by insulting me. Go ahead.
Okay, whoever came up with the title ethical manufacturing, which was him, it's not, I wouldn't even put it that way, because most of the people at the show, 99% of us, strive to be ethical. It's not just a high standard. You know, like at American Apparel, I lost control of my company. It's a long story. You all can come see the movie in about 3 years. But to me, that doesn't mean anything. And that's the thing, is a lot of these claims, like when Gildan says American Apparel is ethical, it kind of is, but it doesn't mean anything. To me, even sweatshop free, I had really coined that phrase. I remember when we came up with it, but that got watered down too. Okay, and then if you look at Bella says no sweatshop, so what does that mean? You know, it doesn't really mean anything. So I'd be very careful not to just repeat things that other people say. If you're gonna get into the business of selling what you're, like how you make it, literally, that it's like treats people better, because the problem with our industry, the clothing industry beyond the imprintable industry, I'm talking, whether it's at Macy's or whether it's at, Barney's, it doesn't matter. Most clothes are made in unfortunate settings, Most of the blank t-shirts we buy, it's a reason that there's a reason for the fact that it's $1 a unit, Oh yeah, it's $1.25 a unit. It's because the workers are getting paid crap. So if you want to talk, like, to me, it's, first of all, for your own shops, you guys are doing things, you're paying living wages. In many cases, you're in Boston or you're in San Francisco or you're in Los Angeles, like the wages are going up. The, democratic establishment and activism has pushed up, the fight for 15. But you guys get to say, hey, we're paying that wage. Where our workers are earning a higher wage, a living wage, or we're meeting the standards of the San Francisco ordinances, et cetera, I think, or whatever city it is, right? I think it's important to also show, if you're printing, you're making things, right? You're in a print shop, and it's like you're competing with prints that are coming in from offshore, from unfortunate settings. Like you say, hey, like we're here in Albany, New York, making it happen one t-shirt at a time, and showing the people that identifying who they are, because most clothing is outsourced. You understand? But you guys are making it yourselves in communities all over North America. So to emphasize that, I think that's really special, and bring a face to it. Say, hey, look, this is Billy. He mixes the inks. That's what I see.
You actually have on your label, that's not bullshit. That's actual people that work. So on the new Los Angeles Apparel shirts, there are people that are in the factory. I went on a tour, and those guys or women that are on the back and the labels, they actually work there.
Right. But you guys are doing what I'm doing. I'm making it myself. Why do you print yourself rather than sending it to a print shop in Tijuana? Is you want to control the quality, the timeliness, the quality of the ink. I mean, I don't print. There's a reason I don't print, because it would require all of my intelligence and passion, to decorate. I put all of my intelligence and passion into making garments, okay? Authenticity. If you're going to peddle, how it's made or how the workers are treated, which is important, okay? Or how your partners are treated, or how your community or group of guys or women or men or whatever making things happen, it's got to be authentic, okay? Because when I see, ethically made, I mean, they're my competitor now, I think, hey, this is bullshit. And by the way, a lot of people think it's bullshit. Okay? Or buy one, get one. You know, that whole Tom's thing, a lot of people eye roll that now because it wasn't the same shoe. You know what I mean? They were only giving it to Christian people in Africa, like that met his religious beliefs or whatever. There was a lot of weird, scandalous stuff that, and I'm not certain of all this. The facts may be blurry, but it was suspicious. That's the point, is even if the facts are wrong, if there's any suspicion that could be brought to it, it's better not to get into it. Just know what you're doing, you know? Like it turned out, well, the people that were making the Tom shoe were never really making that much money to start with. Like the most important thing is, really comes down to, how much are you paying the bloody people? Because if you're paying them 50 cents an hour, the minimum wage is 30 cents in Nicaragua, we're paying like 90 cents, like it's still 90 cents. Okay? 90 cents is 90 cents all over the world. You know, I mean, I know people say, well, the cost of living is cheaper here and there. Yeah. But, you know, to me, the cost of living in Los Angeles is probably the lowest in the world if you want it to be. You know, you have Medi-Cal. You know, they don't have Medi-Cal in Nicaragua. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to go on welfare, it's pretty good too here. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just, I think it's how much of the money is going from your company to labor. Like if you look at Los Angeles Apparel, the percentage of when you buy a t-shirt from me and you give me $1, what percentage goes to Joe Worker? That's important. You know, like let's get to the nuts and bolts of the money.
Isn't it mostly Jane Worker at your place?
Pardon me?
Jane Worker at your place, right?
There's a lot more men than one would think in a sewing factory, but it's probably like 55 women, 45. Yeah, whatever. You get the idea. I'm sorry, I'm almost 50, so I'm not completely politically correct, and nor will I ever be, nor do I desire to be.
I don't think you've ever been accused of that,
no,
actually.
I said we're not politically correct, but we have good ethics. I once said that. Yeah, we had a billboard going like that. But I think ethics and ethical sounds a little more sanctimonious. Sounds a little bit more religious. You know, I'm very committed to, you know, not being that sanctimonious, or I'm an atheist, being honest with you there. But, you know, I think having good ethics is important. But that doesn't mean you can't buy offshore. I think offshore is complicated. It depends on context, too, when you're trying to emphasize. You know, it could be, if you're a Chinese-owned company, you're saying, look, we're doing things differently here. Here's how we do it differently. They could try to approach that. It, you know, depends. But generally, the concept to me of outsourcing, I don't know. I don't love it. I'm a free trader. I believe in free trade 100%. I don't believe in borders. Like everybody's saying, oh, like you don't like borders or border. Of course I don't like borders. So build a wall, tear down all walls, run. You know, that's the future. There is going to be free movement of people over time. And the question is how we make clothes. It's going to have to be that people are paid fairly to make them. I'm talking 50, 80 years from now. And no one's going to want to like be the cleaning lady. You know, and if they are the cleaning lady, it's going to be automated and they're going to be paid well. Because who likes to do the dishes here? You like to do, because it's a therapy for you, right? Some people like sweeping. There's a few weirdos that enjoy. But no one wants to clean, right? So we've got to face, as birth rates drop, as education levels improve, as humanity improves as a whole, you know, and there's less famine and less bad things happening to people in certain parts of the world, we want fairness for everyone. You know, it's not America first. And I do appreciate that Donald Trump's a shit disturber. That's exciting. But, you know, is America first? No. It's world first, and that's the new idea. So if you can say, I'm in the forefront of learning how to print garments or learning how to sell garments that are made in such a way that it's not as damaging to humanity. But, you know, and I don't like people put environment first over worker. No, worker is way first before environment. Okay, but if you are involved in manufacturing goods in such a way that is less damaging to other people, there's a way of talking about that in a very reptilian, human, honest way, and including that in your communications with the public on your Instagram or whatever you do.
So what's the way to convey that, do you think, that if people are doing the right thing? How do they let people know that do care about such things? Like, and that's tough sometimes.
Describe it without saying it. What is sweatshop free? I made up this word sweatshop free. It got kind of hijacked by a number of parties, but you have to describe it. Like for us, it was vertical integration, right? It was, we make it ourselves. And we're a rebel. I remember the funniest thing when my company got hijacked. It's, you know, we used to say like American Apparel is an industrial revolution, and then it said in Spanish, American Apparel is a rebel company. And they took it, they cut it off and just left American Apparel. You know, like use the adjectives, really don't just say no sweatshops. That doesn't mean shit. Explain it to me. Because we know if the particular company I mentioned before is outsourcing, well, what do they know? That you control the workplace is very important, or you're certain that it's being controlled. Like when you buy from me, I don't subcontract. I don't subcontract. You know, you can come to my place, you can show up and get in there and talk to the workers. You can verify it. Make sure if you pitch anything, it's true. Everything needs to be authentic, okay? And describe in detail what you're really talking about. That's how to pitch this stuff. Or don't pitch it at all. Because if you pitch something that's bullshit, it's going to look like greenwashing or whatever you want. Just don't pitch it. And also to tie in the fact that not only is it made in a way that's not damaging to workers, but also because we make it ourselves, because we brew our own coffee, okay? Or because we make our own pastries, or because we bake our own bread, it's better, okay? That's another thing to bring out. It's that it serves their self-interest. Like my new T-shirt, and I'm pitching myself, but it's a damn good T-shirt. This style 1801, come check it out. We'll give you a free sample. It's made, we make it ourselves. And we mess it up all day long. But we keep, oh my God, why is that happening? What are these needle holes? How did that happen? Why is the collar like that? It's different, doesn't feel the same. We are in it deep, and we have a T-shirt that we think is gonna change the industry. And it's because we make it ourselves. So it's not only that the workers are paid, and they'll be paid $14.25 an hour in July, and $15 an hour a year from July, and they're paid $13.25 right now. Not only are they properly paid, okay, but because we own it, and it's ours, and we're doing it with our workers who will eventually be given equity in our company, okay, we bring in a product that's going to change the way the industry is. Because we're there doing it. It's like printing yourself. How many of you guys are decorators in here, screen printers or embroiderers, to know how to get it just right so the customer loves it? You know when the customer signs off and says they love it and then you bring it to them, it's not quite what they imagined? That's one thing that can happen. But another thing that happens, you bring them the product and it's even better than the one that they signed off on because you mixed it just right, you hit the flash just right, you used another brand of ink, you brightened up the white a little bit or whatever. These little tricks that you freaks do in the print shop, right? That makes the customer love it. That's important too, is to tie in the fair wage aspect of it, but also that it actually brings a better quality. Because as Americans, what they did with these borders and what they did with this 50-year movement of offshoring is they took our ability, the maker movement. Like we don't know how to make TVs, and even if we wanted to, we can't, because RCA closed up shop in the 60s, like 75, gone. So that we're making things ourselves. I saw one thing that I found pretty impressive at the show, and this ball that just stamps on the that when you do tagless, that thing's efficient. He says it nails out 1,000 pieces an hour.
Pad printing.
Yeah, boop, 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 whatever. Like I'm not a printer, but that looked much better. And I hear Next Level, Bella, others are using it offshore when they do their tagless, or I didn't know what he said, like all the big brands or Hanes or whatever, and all that's cool. But I thought, wow, that's really efficient. That he has a product that can nail out 1,000 pieces, even if it's 600. Who cares? That's quite efficient. It's almost more efficient than making a label and sewing it in. And so it's also that how you're finding out new techniques and tactics in order to make things efficiently. By the way, when ethics kind of collide with efficiency, that's what advancing humanity is all about. That's what, when we say the can-do spirit of America, it's really the can-do spirit of the world, because America was about all these different groups coming together and doing something bigger. It doesn't matter how we got here, whether it was on a slave boat or, you know, somebody grabbed us and put us on, you know, like we showed up, we crawled under the border, whatever. We you know, my ancestors
came from Canada.
Whatever. Yeah. You know, I worked here legally in the United States. Absolutely. I'm a U.S. citizen. But let me tell you, when I delivered pizza on campus in Medford, Massachusetts, I did not have a green card. Okay. Boo-boo kitten. Okay. That's how, by the way, that's the same story for all of your ancestors. It was always like a weird job to get across the border. Okay. Trust me. So, my point is, what makes America special is we're all here kicking it and trying from all parts of the world. The diversity, like Clinton once said, diversity is our strength, right? And advancing out of this intoxication that we have with offshoring is really what's going to happen, because wages are going up offshore. They're striking in Bangladesh right now. There's like weird Bangladesh, they're freaked out. Just look up Bangladeshi garment worker on your phone. And then check out Nicaraguan garment worker on your phone. And all the articles are involving tear gas and violence. Okay? It ain't fun. And so shit's going to have to change. The future is probably robotics and this and that and the other. But you guys are doing it. Domestic printers are figuring out how to do it, because I don't see a lot of printing offshore is not the big thing. It's getting the cool new equipment and printing here, right? Doing it yourself and getting jobs done fast. And these online retailers that are all buying from you guys, like most stuff's going to be promotional products or retail products to be sold online for the most part. And they need shit right away. Because when that thing starts tearing, when the trend starts rolling and like, oh my God, we got like 90 million followers in a week and we have like 300,000 orders, you know, like I heard these printers across Canada, when they legalized marijuana, they just couldn't keep up, you know? It's when shit happens, you got to serve, and you don't know when it's going to go viral until it goes viral. It's like a flu epidemic. Like, when is it going to strike? And so they need you guys. And so there's a future to all of this.
All right, questions? How about that? Who's got questions for Dov?
I feel like we're on Donahue.
Yeah, we're not.
Remember Donahue? That was a great show.
I don't even have a TV, Dov. I don't know what you're
Nobody
talking about.
Nobody has a TV, man. It's all your phone. Your granny has a TV.
Who's got a question? Come on.
Ask me anything.
Well, you know, who's got what they think is an ethical shop and promotes it as such?
That's a ridiculous question. Most of them, okay, you said and promote, but most of them have ethical shops. If you want to promote it, to me, it's like get into the gritty as to why it's like the team spirit is part of it. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, that's all right, man.
And wants to promote it.
You're not sorry, but that's all right. Go ahead.
How would you answer the question of sustainability? Instagrammer, young person, age, I would say between 18 and 25, asking you, are you a sustainable company? And as a printer, what are some guidelines that we should be replying with? And what are some things that we can improve on?
Where's this printer located? You're in Los Angeles, and you're paying the wages that are mandated. You're in the city of Los Angeles, county of Los Angeles. Los Angeles County has all these living wage ordinances that were pushed through by left-leaning politicians and voters, and you have some of the highest wages in the country that you're paying. Look it up, how much you're paying, what's the minimum wage in the United States, what's the average hourly wages outside of Los Angeles County. You're paying a premium because the people of Los Angeles wanted you to, and you should enjoy and promote that. That is made in Los Angeles alone is you're there. Tick the box, you know, and we're celebrating this wage. We're on it. We're not paying people under the table. We're not paying people cash. You know, we're paying. It's above board. We're playing by stiff rules here locally, and that's what we signed up for because we're Los Angeles County residents, and that's it.
And then
you're not moving your business to Vegas.
And then the other aspect is like the devil's in the details. I mean, we have people say, do you use water-based ink? And I was like, why? You know, you're going to drink it? Like, what, you know, could have arsenic in it. You know, it's like a lot of terms are bandied about that are just totally, absolutely bullshit. It's more about transparency, like he's talking about. Like, what exactly do you mean by the things that you say? How do you treat your workers? What kind of processes you use, et cetera. And the more specific you are, the more you allow people into your place to document what you're doing. Like you kind of have to walk the walk. You can't just bullshit people anymore.
How do you find the balance between automation and still employing a healthy staff?
It's 100% automate. You automate and reduce labor at every corner, and that's your duty, because the invisible hand will correct whatever reduction of labor that results from your automation. Doesn't matter. You'll either grow your business or it'll be there's a little bit of Reaganomics thing, but trickle down. Like if you make more money, you can hire more people and grow your business. You are not like, you're not like AT&T Monopoly where you're like maximized, and if you automate, all these operators are going to fall out of work. Like, don't worry about that. Automate at all times. And then if you have to lay people off, you lay people off. Then you grow your business and you hire people properly. That's my answer to you.
Yeah, like you had that pocket sewing machine when I was there. That's like,
yeah.
I mean, that's not a job you really want to do. So if it can be automated, it's better. Well,
it's better on the hand, whatever. But my point is also, the more money I have, the more money I can put into marketing, the more money I can hire. If I can reduce my staff by automation by 20%, but I take that money and double my business, I mean, we're hiring all the time. Okay, so at no point in American history, they've proven this time and time again. Automation has always led to prosperity for all people, for all folks in the supply chain of life.
More questions? All right, Dov, you gonna hang around for a few minutes?
If anybody has a quick question, I'm here.
All right, cool.
No, I'll stay here for 5 minutes, then I'll go back to my booth.
And you'll answer questions there.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you very
thanks,
much.
Dov Charney.
Thank you.